Hello, can you see me, hear me?
Yes, I can see and hear you.
Oh, great. So let's begin our session for today.
Mhm.
Keep your back and neck straight, sit comfortably. And when you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. Just start observing your breath. Watch the natural flow of your breathing as you inhale and as you exhale. As your mind begins to become more focused on the breathing, slowly shift your attention to your body. Check your posture, check your alignment. Adjust your body in such a way that in your final position you are both comfortable and stable. Now gently come back to your breathing and begin to consciously deepen the breath, going for slow, long and deep inhalations, slow, long and deep exhalations. After your next inhalation, hold your breath in for about 2 seconds and then exhale fully. So we're going to take a few breaths with 2 seconds of internal retention. Let's open today's session by chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Take a deep inhalation for Om. 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 Shanti. 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 vibrations. Join your palms together and begin to rub your palms together. Place them on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes, coming back with a big smile on your face. Namaste and Om Shanti. Let us begin our session for today. So today we are going to learn a new pranayam technique, and even though it is new in pranayam class, you have been doing this for quite some time in your asana practice as well. So today's topic of discussion is Ujjay Pranayam, right? So this has been practiced somewhere or the other till now. 𝐷𝐢𝐤𝐤𝐸, Ujjay Pranayam, Ujjay Breath. In English, there are again a lot of names for this pranayam. So, psychic breath. Then you have ocean's breath. Then another name for this pranayam is ocean's breath, psychic breath. There was one more name for this one. I'll tell you when I remember. There are multiple names for this practice alone. And it is because of the quality of this practice that it has been given so many names. And actually, the term Ujjay, it has the root word J-I, okay, which means to conquer. Okay, and there is a prefix to this word, ud, ud, which means bondage. So this pranayam literally means that you are conquering the bondage, you are freeing yourself from the bondage, right? So Ujjay is a practice. In general, also, whenever you would have practiced Ujjay, you would have felt very relaxed. You would have been, in fact, able to hold in a particular asana for a longer period of time, or take relaxation in the asana because of this type of breathing. Hence, it does have, you can say, a freeing kind of impact, right? Be it any kind of pain that you are in when you are holding in a particular pose, if you do Ujjayi breathing, it becomes easier for you to do that practice. So, this breath, it's known as the psychic breath because of the state of the mind that is induced when you practice this breathing, right? So when you create that snoring kind of sound on the back side of your throat, there is something that is triggered, right? And that is a very calming kind of feeling, or the calming state of mind, it gets triggered, right? And hence it is known as the psychic breath. And it's also known as the ocean's breath because, again, the sound that you are producing, this sound is actually creating the sound like the waves of the ocean, right? If you have ever heard if you have ever been near the ocean and you sat there and you listened to how the waves of the ocean like sounded, you will see that Ujjayi is a very similar practice. It's creating that kind of sound, right? So Ujjayi is also practiced in a lot of ways, but I'm going to tell you two of the most common ones. One is the original and traditional practice, And the other one is the practice which is going on more commonly these days. Okay. So again, for pranayam practice, you have to sit with the back and neck straight, right? Ujjayi is the only exception in all pranayams which can actually be done in any position. Okay, so generally, whenever I teach pranayam, I always tell students that, even if you are able to retain the breath while you are doing something else, right, it's not pranayam, because pranayam requires you to have a particular kind of body posture, a particular kind of preparation of the breath in order to, begin the practice. But Ujjayi is the only exception, right? So, in the traditional texts also, it has been written that Ujjayi breathing can be done while sitting, standing, walking, like at any point of time, right? So, this breath, this pranayam, this breath, it comes in very, very handy to a lot of people, because there is no such restriction in this breath that you have to be a certain way or you have to take out the space separately. You can do it while you are walking, you can do it while you are lying down. In fact, it's considered to be a very good practice for people who cannot fall asleep, right? So for them, it's generally recommended before sleep while lying down in shavasana, right? So this is one practice that you can do at all times. So, but I will tell you the one in the sitting posture. You can incorporate it into your life in whatever capacity you can. Okay, so I'm going to sit whenever I'm doing something in a sitting posture. My back and neck has to be straight. I have to be comfortable, and my body needs to be stable. So, as long as you fulfill these conditions, you are ready for this pranayam, right? Now, next thing that you do, you just gently close your eyes, and of course, you first work on deepening the breath. After a few rounds of deep breathing, you get prepared for the Ujjayi breathing. Now, in Ujjayi, what we actually do is it's as if we are breathing through the throat. Okay. Again, it's as if, okay, the breath is going in and coming out of your nose only. The mouth remains closed throughout the practice. But the pressure that you are placing, that is on the throat. Okay. So if somebody will watch you closely, they will see some contraction come up on the throat region in general. Right. So you just sit normally. I'll just demonstrate one or two rounds and then I will explain more. Okay, so I will demonstrate a little bit like loudly. Actually, in actuality, when you do your personal practice, the sound should only be as loud as you can hear it, or somebody, suppose sitting very close to me, they can hear that sound. Apart from that, it's not too loud in nature. Okay. So this was with a little bit more force so that the voice becomes more audible. But in actuality, if I sit for my practice or you sit for your practice, it has to be lower than this. So essentially, you are doing what? You are creating the sound over here. Basically, you are contracting the glottis, right? And because of that, the airway gets a little bit obstructed. And then when you take in the breath and breathe out, there is some sound that is generated as a consequence of doing this thing. So, beginner level, if they are unable to understand how they have to create this sound, it's like the sound generated by a crow, right? So you can just give them a task and you can tell them that they just have to. So, right now, when I demonstrated, you saw that as I was inhaling, one thing, inhalation was long, and second thing, when I was inhaling, throughout that time, the sound was coming. And when I was exhaling, throughout that time, the sound was coming. But some people find it very hard in the beginning to do this thing. So for them, you can give them a task. You can just ask them to momentarily create a sound on the back side of their throat, just to get an idea from where the sound is coming, right? So it seems as if, it's like the sound that the crow makes, right? Have you ever heard a crow make a sound, right? So in that same way, you create this sound right over here on the back side of your throat. So you just it will seem very funny also, but you just create this kind of sound, just very short. So right, just creation of this sound to get an idea where the contraction is coming and how you have to create this kind of sound. So key feature of Ujjayi Pranayam, it is this thing only, that even though the air is inhaled through the nose, the sound is created on the backside of your throat. And along with this key feature, second key feature that is attached with Ujjayi Pranayam is that the sound is created both during inhalation and exhalation. Okay, inhalation maybe you will be able to hear more sound, and during exhalation it might be a little soft in nature, right? But during both times you have to create the sound. Third key feature of Ujjayi Pranayam is that the mouth will remain closed. So sometimes what people do, they inhale through the nose, keeping the mouth closed, and they create the sound. And then when they have to exhale, they open their mouth and they exhale out like this. Okay, this is not the technique. Your breathing is taking place through the nose at all times. The mouth has to remain closed. Now, the practice I demonstrated currently, it is the more widely practiced form of Ujjayi breath. Okay, where both the hands are relaxed, you are sitting up straight, and you are just creating this sound on the back side of your throat. But the traditional practice is slightly different. Okay, traditionally, when Ujjayi is practiced, the exhalation changes a little bit. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate Ujjayi to you, the traditional method. You can choose whichever one you like. Both of them are correct. Okay. In the traditional method, when you exhale during Ujjayi Pranayam, you only exhale through the left nostril. Only the left nostril. Okay. So again, like Nadi Shodhana, you form the mudra with your hand. Okay. And then after your inhalation, so you just inhale like you do during Ujjayi. So again, the only difference in this practice was that rather than exhaling through both of my nostrils, I chose to exhale only through the left nostril. Okay, so you can choose to exhale through both the nostrils or only just the left nostril. The one where you exhale only through the left nostril is the traditional technique, and the other one is more commonly and widely practiced. Any questions, queries, or doubts so far?
Where can I bring it in my personal asana practice? You said that I can do it all the time. For example, when I prepare a sun salutation, on which part of it is it comfortable to do Ujjayi breathing?
Okay, so if you watch the Ashtanga series specifically, you will
Mhm.
see there are two types of sun salutations in Ashtanga series, A and B. And
Mhm.
in both the series, when you come into downward facing dog the second time, okay, so
Okay. Mhm.
that is when you hold for 5 breaths, and those 5 breaths are actually traditionally Ujjayi breaths. So you take Ujjayi breathing, like do Ujjayi breathing at that point of time to relax yourself.
Mhm.
Mhm. Ujjayi can be practiced during any kind of holding also, right? Like you are holding some asana, right, and you're finding it difficult, or it's like your teacher is counting too slowly, that happens, no? So if you do ujjayi breathing, it becomes easier for you to hold, because the body, like the breath, has the ability to induce a very relaxed state of mind. So sometimes what is happening in the mind, it's like I just want to, release this asana, that becomes too loud, right? So actually your body might not be hurting that much, but this thing that is in the mind, it doesn't allow you to go for better practice. So you can do ujjayi breathing at that point of time. It will physically also relax you and mentally also.
Okay, and downward facing dog is a state where I can practice it. And for example, in sitting position in the Ashtanga series one, for example, the head to knee pose. Is it comfortable to bring it in this asana or in any asana, or are there some some hints for the practice and rules and guidelines to do it or to do it not? Because you said all the time, but I'm not comfortable with this because I don't know where I can combine it with my asana practice.
You can combine it in any asana. There is
Okay.
no restriction. Yes.
Okay.
So even if you find some asana easy, you can still try and do ujjayi breathing. Maybe you will be able to increase the time for which you can hold in that asana. Ujjayi can be incorporated at all times, like when like head to knee. So when you go in the final position, you hold over there. So either you can choose to retain your breath, or if you're going for normal breathing, try ujjayi breathing instead.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Then I have a good idea. Okay. Thanks.
Great. So you can try this and then let me know how you feel about your practice. From today, you can experiment with your asana classes also and see.
Yes.
Awesome.
I've tried it because I've read it in the manual and, for example, in the videos. But I'm not comfortable with this way of breathing because of the throat. There, I'm not. Yeah, I have no problem there in my throat, but it feels not. Natural or good. It feels not good for me. It's I'm struggle with it a little bit. Therefore, I ask if there's any comfortable combination for it. Then I will try it in this position. But I've tried in the second downward facing dog. Maybe this is a way to start with this and get comfortable. Maybe, yes.
Yes, so in downward facing dog, always there is 5 breaths that you hold for. It's ujjayi breathing only, and it will make the downward facing dog a little bit, because in downward facing dog you have some space for your stomach also, and to take the breath more properly, right? So that is one position in which maybe if you don't like doing it, then this is one position where you can begin, and then you can see wherever you want to incorporate. I will say this thing though, that if you like get used to the practice, it is very beneficial in asana practice. So yeah, I mean, I know it's very different like in its nature, but it's very helpful during asana practice. Okay, great, awesome. So let me just give you a few tips and tricks of doing ujjayi, right? So first thing is, when people do ujjayi, they contract their face too much, not recognizing that it's actually the throat which is taking the contraction, and not too much pressure has to be applied, right? So a lot of people, why they find ujjayi difficult is also because they pressure their throat too much during this practice. So like I said, you don't have to create a very loud sound. So when you change your practice in this way, you will see already the pressure on the throat, it goes down, and your face has to be relaxed. So if you feel that when you're doing ujjayi breathing, your face is getting too contracted, right? So just release that thing. Try to make a conscious effort to just relax your face muscles. Also, the body also becomes very like rigid or stiff when some people do Ujjayi because of this same reason. They apply a lot of force, not recognizing that it is the throat which is actually making the effort. So again, you have to just make sure that the body is also relaxed. And some people, because they want to do Ujjayi very well, they contract, like they like trouble their neck muscles too much. Okay, so it's a lot of contraction in the neck muscles also specifically. So just make sure that the neck is relaxed. You're just merely changing how you are breathing. Okay, but there is no force or there is no discomfort that should come with the practice. If there is discomfort coming in with the practice, means you're not doing it correctly. Okay, it's a very relaxed practice and it induces relaxation only, right? Pranayam is a heating pranayam. Again, currently your body temperature is at a particular level. If you do Ujjayi, it will go up. Okay, and it also comes under the category of a tranquilizing pranayam, right? Tranquilizing is again a category of pranayams which induce a lot of relaxation into the body and the mind. Okay, so again, like I said, with asanas, it will induce that kind of state. And even when you go for a full class where you are making your students perform asana and pranayam, you can definitely, you should keep Ujjayi as a part of your protocol. No matter what kind of crowd you get, Ujjayi is another pranayam which can be practiced by everybody. Only one or two category of people cannot practice Ujjayi. Apart from that, everybody can practice Ujjayi. So it's a very like universal kind of practice. And like I said, sitting posture is not necessary. You can do it in any kind of posture. So again, its utility, it increases because of this reason. So who shouldn't do Ujjayi? Ujjayi should not be practiced by people who are very introverted in nature, right? Because this practice induces more introversion. So after you do Ujjayi, you wouldn't feel like talking to anyone, or you would just want to, be by yourself. So again, somebody who is into extreme kind of introversion or any kind of introversion, in fact, for them, it will become harder, right, to interact. So to them, either completely avoid or be very careful if even if you are introducing the practice. Okay. Heart patients should not do this practice with holding, and in general also they should take care. Okay, while they are doing this practice, they should always be under the guidance of any teacher, right? Apart from this, everybody can practice Ujjayi. Ujjayi, like I said, has multiple benefits. So let's just discuss a few of them and then we will step into the practice directly. So, first thing, Ujjayi is creating a sound which is very soothing in nature, right? So, this soothing kind of sound, it creates a soothing impact on the body. The nervous system benefits greatly from the practice of Ujjayi pranayam, right? There is a lot of relaxation on the bodily level which gets induced. Then next thing that happens when you do Ujjayi is that the thyroid, it gets stimulated. Okay, so we have a gland over here, right? And it's called the thyroid gland. So Ujjayi, what it does when you take the breathing in this manner, placing pressure on the throat, it it stimulates basically the thyroid gland. So Ujjayi is a great practice no matter which side of thyroid you are on, hyper or hypo, it doesn't matter. Ujjayi has a balancing effect. Okay, so if your thyroid level is higher, even then you will benefit from Ujjayi, and if it is on the lower end, again you will benefit from Ujjayi pranayam, right? Because it stimulates the thyroid gland, so all the um, things associated with thyroid, right? They also automatically get activated in the body, so the metabolism becomes better, the digestion becomes good. When practiced without any kind of holding, without any other thing, Ujjayi is also a very good practice for people who have high BP, right? So hypertension is a very common problem these days, Ujjay is a very, very good solution for hypertension. But you have to be sure that you don't introduce any kind of holding, right? So, breath holding or any kind of lock. So, sometimes people, what they do after they inhale in a pranayam, they ask the person to, practice the locks, right? Like the chin lock, like this when you take the chin down. So remove everything, just keep the simple version of Ujjayi, and it is a very good practice for people who have hypertension. Ujjayi is also a very, very good practice for people who suffer from insomnia, right? Insomnia is the state where you cannot fall asleep, right? You find it very, very difficult, right, to fall asleep. So, for such people, the mind is very, very active in nature, and hence they are unable to fall asleep. When you introduce Ujjayi to them, their mind becomes completely relaxed, okay? And as a consequence, they end up falling asleep, right? I have seen this with a lot of students who have suffered from insomnia, that Ujjayi has proven to be very, very helpful to them, right? You can either make them practice separately in the class and then tell them when they go home, before sleeping, they can lie down in Shavasana and do Ujjayi breathing, right? So you can give them uh, practice in the class and then also tell them how they can incorporate the pranayam in their life. Because of such a beautiful nature of the Ujjayi breath, it is very good for the clarity of the mind, of the calmness and peace of the mind, and even on an emotional level, you will see you feel quite balanced when you practice Ujjayi regularly. Okay, not just 1 or 2 days, but Ujjayi has will show long term effect, right? When you do it regularly. So you have to stick to your practice, and that your practice is going to give you the results that you were initially having in your mind, right? So these are just a few benefits. Again, the more you practice, the more you get in touch with what I'm talking about when I give you the benefits. Any questions, doubts, queries?
No, not at the moment. No, everything's
Oh,
fine.
great. All right. So we will practice then and see the impact, right? So just sit comfortably wherever you are. Keep your back and neck straight. And once you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. Just begin to connect with the natural flow of your breathing. As you connect with your breathing process, begin to disconnect from all of the external objects, all the external distractions, and keep the mind on the breathing. And now slowly become aware of your posture. Check your body. And before we begin our practices, just make sure your body is stable, comfortable. Once you attain that stability, just take the mental resolution. You're going to keep your body exactly like this till the end of your practice. Now gently come back to your breath and begin to deepen your breathing. Take a few deep breaths to prepare yourself for your first practice. Now, we are going to start with the first practice, the practice of abdominal breathing. So you can choose to place one hand on your abdomen or just keep the hands on the knees, palms facing upwards, and exhale fully, contracting your abdomen and bringing the navel close to the spine. As you begin to inhale, feel your abdomen expand and rise. As you exhale, contract your abdomen again. Continue to practice abdominal breathing for a few more breaths. Trying to keep each inhalation and each exhalation equal. We are taking 3 seconds to inhale. Make sure that the exhalation also takes 3 seconds. Allow abdominal breathing to deepen your breath and to relax and prepare your mind for the next practice. Slow, long, and deep breaths. Slowly, after your next exhalation, suspend your practice and come back to the natural breathing. Keeping your back and neck straight, simply observe how you feel after a few minutes of abdominal breathing. Keeping your back and neck straight, prepare yourself for the next practice. We will go for a few rounds of Anulom Vilom. With your right hand, form the preferable mudra. Bring your hand close to your nose. Exhale fully. Close your right nostril with the thumb and begin to inhale through the left side. Once you inhale fully, switch the nostril, close the left nostril, open the right nostril, and exhale. After exhalation, begin to inhale through the right nostril again. And once you inhale fully, close the right nostril, open the left nostril, and exhale fully. This is one round. Go ahead and practice a few more rounds. Try to keep each and every breath as controlled as possible. Feel each and every breath as it alternates between different nostrils. After your next round, completely suspend your practice. Once you finish the next round, just relax your hand, keep your back and neck straight. See how you feel after your next practice. So now we are done with two practices. Already the state of your mind, it's much more controlled, much more relaxed. Keep your back and neck straight and prepare yourself for the final practice, the practice of Ujjay breathing. After your next exhalation, begin to inhale, creating a snoring kind of sound on the back side of your throat as you inhale. As you exhale again, make sure to create that sound. If you feel you want to restrict your exhalation to only the left nostril, after inhaling, you can form the required mudra with the right hand, and then you can Close the right nostril and exhale only through the left nostril. Just make sure when you do so, you are fully relaxed. There is no stress or tension when you are going for this practice. Also, keep the sound low. Only you should be able to hear the sound of your practice. Keep continuing your practice. We're going to go for a few more minutes. If you get tired in between, you can suspend your practice, take a few normal breaths, and then start practicing again. After you're completing your next breath, completely suspend your practice. Keeping the back and neck straight. See how you are feeling. Check the state of your mind, your breath, and how your body is. All three levels, there would be some change. Check the state of your mind as we are about to close today's session. When you started the class, and now as you are ending the class. Feel a deep breath in for Om. We will chant Om one time, followed by 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibrations. Join both your palms together in front of your chest and gently bow down. Begin to rub your palms together. Keep them on your eyes. We'll do this 2 more times. Rub your palms together properly. Place them on your eyes. One last time. Rub your palms together. Keep them on the eyes. When you feel ready, very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes. Come back with a big smile on your face. Om Shanti and Namaste. Any doubts, difficulties, anything you want to share?
No.
It was okay today, or was it still uncomfortable?
Yeah, it was okay. It was not comfortable because of the sitting posture, because I have a damaged muscle in the back, and therefore today it was not comfortable. That it's not every day the same, but today I struggle with it. But the breathing was okay, and I feel interesting situation, because when I do Ujjay breath, then my muscle, the damaged muscle, reacts. And the problem is, since after an accident, it didn't connect with the system, and the Western medicine didn't work, and then I try Chinese medicine and yoga as well, and then it works, but it's not good, and not in the best condition, but it gets better and better. There's a very I don't know what the word. There happen something. This is not natural. There fluid comes out from it because of stagnation, and the Western doctors can't believe it, but it is the real story. There's a fascial fluid comes out from because of stagnation, and the stagnation is today it's really hard, and the Ujjayi breath. Brings something like connectivity. I feel something in it, and often it feels like a death muscle. It doesn't connect with my body, but I feel some little connectivity things in my back, and this is a good feeling. Also, today is not a good day. It feels good when there's something happen in it. It feels good for me.
No worries, no worries. If you are having lower back problem or difficulty in sitting, you can change your posture first thing. And second thing, you can also place a pillow under your hips. That will also help.
I already sit on the pillow, on a meditation pillow. It's okay, but when I am in a standing position, the muscle doesn't make any trouble. It only make trouble when I'm in a sitting and in a lying position, when there's something get on it. When I'm walking, I can walk, I can already go for jogging, something like this. But when I'm sit down or lying down, there's there's trouble. And today it's a little bit more than other days, but it was no problem. And it was okay. And the Ujjay breath was very interesting in the combination of a big struggle day with my muscle. So
No
I
worries.
I will.
Rest. It
Yeah.
will get better. Don't take too much stress or tension. It will relax, and I'm sure that with more and more practice, this you will see more impact on this with all the practices. In fact, whatever you are doing, it's going to have only a positive impact on.
Mhm. Yes,
Uh,
I will feel it, and therefore I want to learn more about it, and therefore I will, yeah, make this course, and it's very interesting, and yes, with very good benefits for my body and something else. Okay, thank
Great.
you
It's
very
very
much.
good. Enjoy your weekend, and I will
Yes,
see you on Monday.
yes, enjoy your weekend too, and see you on Monday. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.